Hey everybody, welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda and I'm here with my brother Eric.
How's it going, everybody? We are here in the middle of season 6 of Friends. We're here with episodes 11 and 12. This is the one with the Apothecary Table and the one with the joke. And I'll tell you, these are two pretty good episodes too, if I do say so myself. I definitely lean in favor of one, but I do think these are some solid Friends episodes. I don't know, like last podcast that we did, I mean, I'm handing out 10s. You're handing out 10s. I don't see a 10 on the docket today.
No.
But these are still really good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these are solid episodes for me as well, but definitely not my top rated, but I really enjoyed rewatching them. And, just as a reminder of where we left things off in our last episode, we had the Thanksgiving episode, which that was the one that Eric and I both gave a 10 to because, this is Thanksgiving. It's not Truth Day, as I'll say for the third time now between these two episodes, because it's just really funny from Ross. And Ross and Monica were unloading each other's secrets to their parents. We also had Janine inviting Joey to a filming of Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve, where Ross and Monica were also tagging along to do their 8th grade dance routine to get attention. But we also had Rachel and Phoebe hunting for their presents in the apartment. And in the end, we had Janine kissing Joey. And that's where we roll right into this episode, which...
I will say this. I'm very interested to see what the people have rated these two episodes, because I think while one of them I definitely like more than the other, and I do think these are some solid episodes, I think there is opportunity for these to be like significantly lower than I expect.
Yeah. Okay. And for me, I will say okay. Without getting fully into the ratings, they are, to me, I enjoy them, and solid meaning they're still on the upper,
I enjoy watching them.
Portion of the 10-star scale. I enjoy watching them, but I am definitely a little bit harsher with one of them than I have been with other episodes, because I feel like just not as much happens, and that's this one coming up with the one with the Apothecary Table. So I feel like there's definitely funny moments, but yeah, Eric. Let's
roll right into this one. And the one with the Apothecary Table, it's season 6, episode 11. This is largely immediately on the heels of Joey kissing Janine. And what we get here is we get the entire Janine-Joey relationship meltdown and breakup and move out as roommates, all in one fell swoop. We also find out that Phoebe hates Pottery Barn. And Rachel, who is now living with Phoebe, has started buying furniture for her house. But it's all coming from Pottery Barn. And so she's got to make up a reason as to why this is not Pottery Barn, even though it is. Which is an interesting story. It's one only that could be told for Phoebe, really, in all honesty.
But I feel like even for Phoebe, they play her out to be very dense here. This is almost crosses the line into being insulting for Phoebe. I'm like, come on, girl, come on. She's really wanting to go along with Rachel, but let's read the room, literally.
I think when Rachel shows up with the new Apothecary Table, it is not that big of a giveaway. It's when Rachel later in the episode has 900 things from Pottery Barn all shoved into Phoebe's apartment that it starts getting a little insane. But I do love the ad when she's explaining it, reading it out of the magazine or the whatever those things are called. The catalog. Catalog is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she's reading it out of that to Chandler, and she's like, look, it even holds 300 CDs. And he's like, just like the Apothecary Tables of old. Like, how many CDs it holds. Which was a noteworthy thing in the 90s. That was important.
You had to find a good place to store those suckers. They would start to take over. But listen, the thing that really stuck out to me is that Rachel all of a sudden is able to afford, not only she comes out and says that this apothecary table is like $500, and then she's able to like buy this entire window display and redecorate their living room. It's just, it's weird to me. I'm like, where?
Hey, listen, that Ralph Lauren money must be, yeah.
Yeah.
Doing all right. Especially
all right. Hey.
since she gets it for $1 and $50.
Well, that is
according to they give you the old time pricing.
Oh, Phoebe,
I also like that Rachel or confused maybe I don't like. I find it interesting that Rachel has no sense of how much stuff costs at a flea market.
No sense at all.
This brand new apothecary table costs $500. And Phoebe's like, at a flea market, that's crazy. And she's like, oh no, not $500. I mean, that's what it cost back in the day. Like
$1.
That's not true.
Said.
First of all,
yeah.
So it is like $1. $1. Oh. Well, like $1 and $50. Oh, gave you the old time pricing. Like,
well, this is like a Rachel, throwback to old time Rachel.
Yeah, but you're like buying a whole table for $1.
No. In this condition, it's like in perfect condition.
It's brand new.
This is not okay. Oh, gosh.
It came from White Plains.
Yeah, the White Plains store.
Which my daughter was watching this show with me when I was rewatching it, and she's like, where is, like, what? I'm like, that's a city, like, right next to New York.
Yeah.
She's like, well, how come Phoebe doesn't know that? I'm like, I don't know.
Thank you, my dear niece. I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, Phoebe, come on, girl. You've grown up in New York. Like, you know where White Plains is. Oh,
I'd like to think so.
This is just silliness. But I mean, it's from yore. It's like the days of yore. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it sounds like a magical place, White Plains.
I will say I do like the scramble at Ross's place when Phoebe and Rachel go over to Ross's, and they do the joke and they let it sit, which is great. Where Phoebe hates Pottery Barn. How can she hate Pottery Barn? Like, who hates Pottery Barn? That's crazy. And she's like, well, she says that everything's just mass produced and everybody's room still just ends up looking like the same thing. And then they just let it sit so that it's understood that, hey, she's right.
Oh, wait. We have the same exact table now. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that they kind of throw in these bits. Even obviously we are not in the stage of the show where Ross and Rachel are even like talking about being together, but here we have them buying the same exact table, still into, same types of things. Although I guess it's implied here that everyone is buying these types of things, but they pick out the same table. Also, Eric, we didn't mention, I just have to call out in the Thanksgiving episode, so not the last one, but the one before, Ross, this whole attempt at like wanting to hustle out. Sure, it was to go to the party, but also he didn't want to make Rachel feel bad about her trifle tasting really awful. So I just like that they keep adding these little bits of like Ross trying to still either make sure that Rachel is okay.
He wants to maintain in her good graces.
Yes. So,
which is why he's also the one that steps out in the hall and tries to like, while Joey convinces everybody that it's going to taste awful, like, but here's how you can pretend that it tastes good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good.
So I like that. And, but yeah, here we have, he's trying to help her out by then covering over this table with one of his Pottery Barn sheets. And, this is just, oh my goodness, her then knocking over the wine and then seeing the table and still not putting it together that her table is also from Pottery Barn. It's Phoebe. Come on, Phoebe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's, I do like that she's like, fine, I'll give you the 80 cents for the sheet, Ross. Because he bought the sheets. And of course, Rachel's like, well, I got them at a flea market. Yeah. Like, first of all, Rachel, Phoebe doesn't care if Ross buys his stuff at Pottery Barn. She only wants you to not buy it there, not because it's you, but because it's her place too.
That's
and
right.
that is the thing. And so we get there's this weird kind of stuff going on with Rachel where she is trying to almost convince Phoebe that nothing is from Pottery Barn. And the other thing is, I don't know about you, I remember Pottery Barn.
Yeah.
I was never like of age, I think, to buy stuff at Pottery Barn. Do they still exist?
Yes, and it's an expensive store. I mean, this is it's
I don't even know if there's one anywhere near me.
Okay, they might not be out in your area.
It might be a regional situation because growing up in New England, there was definitely Pottery Barn.
Oh yeah, they're still out
and
here.
They're in New York. So
yeah,
I'm gonna Google this real quick.
But listen, the fact I'm starting
have
to
you
question,
bought stuff at Pottery Barn?
I have bought a thing here or there, but really it's not worth, to me it's extremely expensive for what you're getting. I don't know. To me, you're just buying a brand name, and yeah. So listen, I'm questioning though. At different points, I've felt like Phoebe is very strong in her convictions, right? But now we've had her with the fur coat, where she's like, hey, maybe I look really good in this fur coat. Although she does end up getting rid of it. But now we have her where she's needing Rachel to say, wait, are you saying you would move out if I didn't buy that lamp? Because she now desperately wants the Pottery Barn lamp. And I don't know. I don't like this side of Phoebe either. So
this is a more willing to sacrifice her own beliefs side of Phoebe for cosmetic reasons. She sacrifices her own beliefs when she decides that she's going to eat meat.
Yes.
As long as Joey doesn't. But that is for like a notable, uplifting reasons, where this is just, I want the stuff. So her
weird.
convictions tend to go back and forth a little.
It is funny though. And I do like Rachel and Phoebe living together. So I like when they get to have these comedic moments, bouncing off each other. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, I guess really the bigger portion of this episode revolves around Janine and Joey though, right? So because we have for sure. Really. And Eric, did you interpret this as this moment is literally right after the Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve and he's running over?
Yeah, no, because literally minutes.
But I'm like, is that the shirt he was wearing? I don't know. To me, it felt different.
Irrelevant. Okay. Although it may be. I think it may be.
I was having some continuity issues. I don't know.
He says, he goes over to the apartment. This is how the show opens. He runs over to the apartment he's like, oh, you guys remember when you said me and Janine are never going to get together, blah, blah, blah. Well, I just kissed her. And they're all like, oh my God. And so he's like, oh, so this is what happened. And this is how it went. And then I kissed her. And then Chandler's like, well, what happened after that? He's like, well, I came over here to tell you guys. Oh. He's like, so you just like kissed her and now she's sitting over there? And he's like, yeah. Nope. And like takes off back to his own apartment.
Wow.
Come on, Joey. You always like let the moment reel itself out, but here we are.
Yeah.
And sometimes Joey makes good decisions and sometimes he does things like that, which it doesn't seem to hurt him too much. But this relationship, I mean, we watch them get together, like have an argument but compromise, have an argument that can't be compromised on, break up, and move out, all in this next like 20 minutes.
It is wild. Yeah, it's too much. I mean, they're double dating with Chandler and Monica, which, I mean, I guess that's okay, but you'd think that initially first they'd just want to be spending more time just getting to know each other. But I get it. Like, their friends are right there. That's cool, wanting to get to know the friends. But she obviously knows
Listen,
how...
you want to blame people for that? Blame Chandler and Monica. They're the ones who are excited about having another couple to go on dates with.
It's true. And I just really struggle with this with Janine, because it's like, girl, you know how close they all are. Clearly, it's obvious. They hang out every moment of every, day. And she's immediately saying, well, we can't, how are we going to get out of that one? Like, what?
Yeah, it's a massive lack of awareness from Janine.
Oh, it's
like
bad.
You live with Joey. You know what these people are to Joey. Mm-hmm. The idea that, like, door shuts. How are we going to get out of that one? Now, don't get me wrong. That might be something that people say to each other immediately upon making plans with somebody. Like, couples are going to look at each other every now and then and go, oh, crap, how do we get out of this?
Yes, right.
Like, we made that plan to look good with them, but we don't actually want to do that plan.
Yeah.
That is a real thing.
Yeah.
And we all know that. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But the fact that Janine, who has been dating Joey for less than a week, let's just say that the timeline spans out a little bit, is immediately trying to get out of going out with them 2 nights in a row. I will agree. Maybe going out with them 2 nights in a row is a bad idea.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a big ask. But Joey doesn't view it as going out with another couple.
Right.
He's just hanging out with his friends.
He's just, right.
And that's the difference. And I think Janine is treating it like any other relationship, and Joey is never going to be able to make that separation.
And Joey's also counting on Chandler to basically cover the entire date too. So let's also remember that.
Yes, well, that was obvious. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Chandler, I can't believe I let you pay this time. Thanks again, man.
Oh my, wow. Yeah, it's just, Joey even goes over and he's saying to Monica and Chandler, hey, you guys owe me. Monica's like, we owe you. I love this moment where he's like, yeah, I helped you a lot at the start of your relationship, and I only made like $200. Monica's we didn't give you any money. And Chandler's sitting there waving his hands. And he's like, and Joey's just like, you don't think I don't know that? Tries to recover. Nice save, Joe. Nice save. Yeah. This actually
nice
good work.
Save, Joey. But listen. They do owe him. They do owe Joey. They do.
And Monica really did not do a good job of even trying. Monica was
like, we owe you? Yes, you owe me.
Yeah.
Of all people, you owe me quite a bit.
Yeah. And Monica, I am loud.
So, well, that's another thing that we have to talk about here. And I mean, the best part of this story, in all honesty, is watching Chandler and Monica react to not being treated well by Janine. It's not anything that Janine does. Janine genuinely, I think, actually acts like a normal person in this situation. Maybe doesn't want to hang out with her new boyfriend's friends every day. Okay. Sure. But the way she jabs at both Monica and Chandler, saying, oh, Chandler's just blah, and she's just so loud for someone who's so little, is while maybe true, also like you recognize these are his best friends.
They're like his family, as he puts it. It's too much.
And so wants them to try again. And of course he goes and tells them this, and watching Monica specifically react is amazing. Like, what? Like, just so loud. God, I am loud. But this also then brings up the point. She shuts the door and to the hallway and is like, I do not like that woman. And then Joey yells from well inside his apartment, I can hear you.
Yes.
Man, I am loud. Mm-hmm. How many times has there been a conversation going down in that hallway that is apparently a soundproof hallway that nobody can hear what's going on the other side of the door. Yeah. And this time, there might as well have been a empty doorway, like no door, just a open space for Monica to shout through. Like the availability of sound there is a little crazy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And then Monica agreeing to hug it out in the hallway as she's then mumbling something under her breath. So Monica ends up hitting her with a trash bag. I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Well, why not?
This is bad. Yeah. And then they're off to fight it out in the street, I guess. Wow.
I find it funny that Janine towers over Monica and she's the one that runs.
Yeah. Monica's scrappy.
She is scrappy.
I think she might be able to kick her butt. I don't know.
she probably would, but I found it interesting. You'd have thought that Janine would just try to like stand tall and like look down at Monica, but I think Monica is scrappy and mad at this moment, and Janine doesn't want anything to do with it. She just takes off running. She's like, wait. It just runs. Just runs.
Yeah, and that's the last we see of her. Yeah,
that's it.
We don't even witness off down the hall. The breakup or anything. It's just
we get Joey at the coffee shop later talking about how they're now like, well, yeah, she just moved her last stuff out, so she's gone. Also, needs to be said, going back, my favorite scene from this, which we did kind of blaze over, was when Rachel has all this stuff in the apartment, right?
Yeah.
Ross tries to pin her down on time periods.
Oh,
and he's like, wow, you have a lot of stuff from like the colonial times. Like, what other time periods are there? And she's like, well, there's your, and when you got yesteryear. And then Ross ends up giving her the money. He gives her $60, which I think is money well spent. Give her $60 to take Phoebe down to the flea market to go find all that cool furniture at that colonial flea market. And I still want to know, where did they go?
I want to know too. Yeah.
Because they never show that. They show them walking back rejected from some other obvious flea market and walking into Pottery Barn. And that's when Phoebe gets the big reveal of knowing, oh, this is my living room. And it's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that scene, I think, is really funny. I think it's one that kind of helps carry this episode. In episode where you're right, not a lot happens other than like, let's get rid of Janine.
Yeah. Because we really only had those two storylines.
That's it. Two storylines. Yeah. We get rid of Janine. That's the whole focus on the one side. The other side is really just Ross and Rachel and Phoebe and something to do. But I will say, I find the Apothecary Table stuff far funnier and far more entertaining. The only time I like the stuff with Joey and Janine is genuinely when it's Monica and Chandler. When it's not Joey and Janine.
We did also get a classic Ross like meltdown moment when Phoebe like knocks over the wine on his table and she's like, Ross, where did you get this? I got it at Pottery Barn, okay? Like he like flips
out. My God, Pottery Barn is ripped off our Apothecary Table design. Wow. Yeah, like that. We kind of like blurred through all that to get to the Joey and Janine stuff. And I felt like it's worth going back to because those scenes, I think, actually carry this episode from a humor standpoint. Because otherwise this kind of gets to just be kind of like a sad Joey episode if you don't have those things. So the Apothecary Table is really it's a side story that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But it really helps this episode a lot.
Yeah. And, I think it's really important that they had, just thinking of these episodes, really, these past, and we even mentioned, Eric, starting at the end of season 5 through now, because now we're in the middle of season 6. And Joey's still going through it. Like, unless you have someone like Matt LeBlanc in this role, his character could be kind of depressing. So I feel like Matt LeBlanc is able to like elevate and still be goofy and funny and light, you know?
He does. No, he does a really good job. I'd also like to point this out. Now, I didn't think it through, so I'm just going to pose the question. And I'm sure my wife, who's going to listen to this later, is going to name like 17 times where this happens because she always tends to do that for me. She's like, you should have said this. I'm like, yeah, that would have been good. I should have said that. That being said, how often do we get a storyline that is Ross, Rachel, and Phoebe? Just the three of them.
Yep. It's
not often, I don't think.
No,
and like we've done the pairings where it's the roommates and then Ross and like Ross and Rachel and Chandler and Monica, and then we get like Phoebe and Rachel, Phoebe and Monica, or Phoebe and Joey. But then when they break them into these groups of three, and they do Rachel, Ross, Phoebe, that seems like a very infrequent pairing. And I think that's why this story, this apothecary story, is really funny. You don't see it often.
I agree. I was going to say, when they're all in Phoebe and Rachel's apartment and Ross is there, that is what sticks out the most to me is, that's just the three of them. You don't really get that. I mean, just doing a quick...
Well, and Rachel going over to Ross's apartment to like watch a movie is not that crazy. But Rachel and Phoebe going together with no one else going.
With no one else. I can't really even think of another moment because like I was just thinking of when the moment there was that interaction between Rachel and Ross with Phoebe when Rachel was giving him the hard time about not believing that her mom was in the cat, but the other friends were there.
But they were all there. They were all there for that.
So it's like, there was more of that dialogue between the three of them, but the others were in the room.
To me,
so
I feel like you don't see enough of Ross and Phoebe together, and that's part of it.
I like the party
the one
episode.
That stands out is like the flashback where they almost hooked up.
Yes.
And like at the pool table, like that was kind of cool. But Rachel is not part of that. Rachel's doing her own thing in that thing. So it's very interesting, I feel like. And because of that, I feel like this episode stands out a little bit based on that.
Yeah.
Like it's not shocking and I guess here's my circular way of saying this. The other side of that storyline is Chandler, Joey, and Monica. And they pair those three up often.
Yeah, so
but then it's usually like Rachel and Phoebe doing something and Ross with somebody else. That's right.
Like three different
Ross and Rachel.
Yeah,
and Ross and Rachel doing something and Phoebe doing something else.
Yes.
And it's rare that we get that combo. So you feel like it's available, but they just never like hammer it home as much.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Yep. Yeah, I do like in general when Ross and Phoebe have storylines together, like when Ross had the party to get welcomed into he was going to the party when he was joining his new apartment and they were expecting him to pay and Phoebe was trying to cover for him, which did not go well.
I did not see that. I did not get that.
Yeah. So
they do pair them up. But they will in the future. But I'm going to be watching to see if there are others with just the three of them. I think that will be interesting.
Yeah, that's a unique moment.
Now we're going to jump into season 6, episode 12. This is The One with the Joke. And in this one, Ross and Chandler are arguing over who created a joke that Ross got published into Playboy magazine. That is such an interesting sentence for me to say. But that's where we start. And we also have Joey starting to realize, hey, Janine's not there anymore. I don't have enough money to really pay for all the things in this apartment. And he ends up getting himself a job at Central Perk.
Yeah.
So we pick this up. I'm just going to go with this. They never tell the joke. They sort of like bounce around the idea of the joke. But this who wrote the joke is moderately funny at best.
It's weird.
Like, it's not great. I don't love Chandler and Ross fighting over who wrote a joke that we never even hear. And like all these other people playing off it, trying to like bounce around. Chandler's now then going to start writing his jokes in a joke notebook. Like, how many notebooks is he going to need? Like, he's going to need a lot. I don't think that's reasonable. I think then they try to bring Monica in at the end, and she's like judging who the joke is and basically lays out for him, hey, by the way, the joke is like, what was it?
Not funny.
It's prejudice to women,
yes,
and doctors and monkeys. It's a horrible joke, and you both should be blamed for bringing it onto our society or something like that.
That is the
joke
funniest
sucks.
part
Leave
about
it alone.
the entire bit to me is Monica just being like, neither of you should want to claim this joke. It's a horrible joke, and you should be embarrassed that if you think it's yours. Like that, it's
the funniest part. The
bad.
funny thing about that is I feel like Monica is genuinely speaking for me. Like,
Right.
guys,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
I don't care about whose joke it is. You're not even telling me what the joke is. And Joey has one of his Joey moments, which, as you were mentioning before, like, he still finds ways to be endearing. He does things like, you know, hey, look, they published my joke in Playboy magazine. And Joey's like, jokes? Guys, you know there's naked chicks in there, right?
Right.
He's like, let me show you.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
And it's like, what are you even talking about? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Honestly, well, actually, Eric, I don't know if you mentioned, because during this episode, we also have Monica obsessed with the fact that Phoebe picked Rachel.
Oh,
as
no, I did not mention that. That's right. That is also part of this whole thing.
an odd storyline. It's like, it's very strange.
Well, that one to me feels
Like, it fits their
like
characters
a How I Met
more.
Your Mother storyline.
Yes, yeah, right.
Where it's like, hey, we're sitting around a bar and like, what would happen if this was the case? And like the fact that Phoebe said, oh, like if we had to date one of the other one, which one would we date? And it's like, I couldn't pick. Oh, I'd pick Rachel.
Phoebe automatically says Rachel. and of course, Monica is offended.
So mad about this.
Yes.
I find this to be a relatively reasonable story.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
It's
you're
believable.
right. It is believable.
Yes.
It is a believable conversation that people would have. This is like, to me, this is kind of like the idea that before we all had cell phones, and you would say like, oh, what's the most popular food in the United States? And nobody would have the answer. And we would just argue. Bread. Yeah, right. And we would just argue over who, like, what is it? Is it the hot dogs, the hamburgers? No, it's got to be this. It's got to be that. Like, oh, got it. It's bread. Like, that is straight out of How I Met Your Mother. But that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
That scene from that, where it's like the old bar arguments that get like kind of like forgotten.
Well, and
this is just an argument where it's just like a random topic between friends that doesn't mean anything, that gets blown way out of proportion and then like takes over for a few days.
Well, to me, I guess I also think of it as like it just goes into Monica's character needing to always be the best, right? Like it's all about Monica needing to always be picked first. She needs to be the best. She needs to win at everything, no matter what it is. So I
said at the beginning of this season, I feel like they are just hammering home. Like, these are the stereotypes of these characters, or not stereotypes. These are the character traits of these characters that we need you to know. And if there's been nothing else, Monica has been competitive and OCD and needing to be right all through this season.
I win.
All the way. Every
this?
single episode. And this, by the way, is the best Monica there is, because sometimes Monica gets forgotten because she's not doing any of those things.
Her Monica stuff.
It's when she's that like neurotic OCD over the top.
Yes.
That's when people really like Monica.
Well, and I have to say, this is when I was like, oh man, she and Chandler are such a great fit, because my favorite line in this episode is when, you know, she's forcing Chandler to say these lines about like Monica
Scripted.
being, being, this is who she is. She's not high maintenance. And they're like, wow, Chandler, that couldn't have sounded more scripted. And she's trying to put
Monica is a together, self-sufficient lady.
yes. And then he ends up saying, though,
generosity of spirit.
That's right. And well, what is perceived as high maintenance is attention to detail and generosity of spirit. Yes.
And I jumped in front of you there.
And he's like,
but
he's like, well, listen, you are a little high maintenance. He's turning to her and he's like, but you know, listen, you're not easygoing, but you're passionate and it's good. And I'm pretty good about making you feel better. So they could say that you're high maintenance, but I like maintaining you. Oh my gosh, that is such
boom, home
wow, dude.
run.
Yeah, just that was the right thing to say. And she's like, I didn't even tell him to say that. Yeah. it was a good line.
Like,
way to go, man. Way to go.
These are the moments where like Chandler, you go, yeah, man, Chandler's got game. He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He knows how to do this. Now, he couldn't talk to Jack Geller 2 episodes ago at all, but boy, can he talk to Monica. He's figured it out.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
But I do also like from this episode, they do a little scene before they get to the coffee shop and they have that finale like you're talking about, where Rachel and Monica have decided that Phoebe is flaky and they're not going to lunch with her. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm getting them backwards. First, they decide they're not going to go to lunch with her because she's being mean to them. And they go out in the hallway.
Oh, yes.
And Monica's like, well, where do you want to go to eat? And Rachel's like, I love this new Japanese place. We should go there. And Monica says, ugh, Japanese, no, we're not going there. And Rachel then goes, all right, well, we'll go where we want. Which is the pushover and the control freak just jammed down our throats one more time. I'm like, that's so good. Yeah. This
is why they're able to get along, because they just, you know, Monica gets to have her way and Rachel doesn't really care. She'll just go along with it. And I like that we see that at the end of the episode too, where like Rachel finally, she stands up for Joey because Joey ends up getting fired. We didn't really get into that, but he gets let go because he's working at the coffee shop very briefly. But then like Gunther decides to get his hair dyed, so he leaves him there, but Joey actually has an audition, which, hello, that's really what Joey wants to be spending his time doing. So he leaves too, but then he gets fired for leaving. Rachel's hearing all about this and is like, this is outrageous. Like, I'm going to stand up, because now she wants to prove that she can stand up too and say something about this.
She's not a pushover.
And listen, Gunther is the perfect person for her to practice with, because Gunther will give her whatever she wants anyway. So like 2 words in and he's like, okay, yes, Joey can have his job back. That's right. Joey can have his job back. And then she goes to like sit down and Phoebe's like, oh, Rachel, you're in my seat. Okay, sorry. You know, and she just immediately gets up and gives Phoebe her seat back. So it's like, she's making an effort, but I mean, we are who we are, right? I mean, I think that's a lot of it. Yes. We are who we are. You do grow and learn things and change to a certain degree, but I do feel like, you know, who we are to our core really doesn't change a whole heck of a lot usually.
No, and I will say we kind of skipped over Joey getting his job in the first place. But I do like the scene where Joey's standing there. He's like, hey, you want a cup of coffee? You want a cup of coffee? You want a cup of... Oh, hey, I'm heading up there. You need a cup of coffee? Yeah. And then like, you know, just going to other people randomly. Hey, I'm heading up there. And they're all looking at him like, Joey, what are you doing? And he just walks behind the counter, starts getting. He's like, I don't think you're supposed to do that, Joey.
Joey,
Then
do you
it comes
work
up
here?
like,
Yeah.
Do you work here? No. Waiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's like super ashamed about it, but then it's cool. Rachel gets a moment to pass on the knowledge of working at Central Perk, including giving a sneeze muffin if you've got a customer that's rude to you, which Ross is about to be because he keeps asking Joey like over and over again. I'm like, Ross, you're in this conversation with Joey.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? Now that being said, Joey's got to learn. He's working. But Rachel never figured that out either, so who cares?
Yeah, no, not quite.
They only go to work when they want to.
I mean, come on. This is just, but you do, listen, Joey's having a hard time here. His TV's out, his phone's out. He's going to lose all of his power pretty soon. It seems he's watching TV over at Chandler and Monica's because like in the middle of the night, waking them up because I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly, Eric, how because he doesn't get another roommate. I'm struggling to remember how they resolved this for Joey.
I think it's just resolved in the next episode.
Oh, okay. We'll get there, guys.
Yeah, I don't think it's that deep.
Okay.
I think it's like, hey, he's working at Central Perk now. He could pay for the basic bills.
Yeah.
I mean, even Gunther says like, hey, it's decent money. And, I don't know what decent money is. I wouldn't have thought that would be decent money, but it's certain. I mean, if you are working just as like a barista part-time, which I think Joey would be doing.
Yeah.
I don't think you're like making enough to live on your own right now, especially not in New York or Manhattan.
And Joey's level of
this is also 25 years ago.
Hey.
And so the prices are a little different, but still.
Right. Like these days, you can't even fathom that being a possibility. So that's where it's just like, how are they explaining this? But we'll just roll with that. We are just going to roll right through. But I don't really understand Joey being ashamed of this job at all, though. It's like, dude, you have to work, and why not work at the place where you guys are hanging out all the time and it's right there? I mean, seems like a good idea.
Now we're going to jump into our IMDb ratings section of our podcast, where we talk about our ratings on the episodes versus you and your ratings as we found them on imdb.com. Not to mention, we're going to bring up our favorite and least favorite characters. And I'm writing down my rankings now, or my ratings now, because I was torn a little on one of them, and I've finally squared it away. How about favorite or least favorite characters? Where do you want to start with that?
All right. I'm going to go with my least favorite character first.
Okay.
Because I feel like I wrote a note here and I'm like, that kind of flies right in the face of a comment I made earlier, but I'm going to be perfectly honest about it because I did note, because it's true. I mean, I went with Ross as my least favorite for these two.
Okay.
I felt like, despite what I said earlier about how there are moments where it's like Ross ends up really going to bat for Rachel regardless, but I feel like in these episodes, especially with the Apothecary Table, he just threw her right under the bus there.
Oh yeah.
And and also like flipped out about the sheet that you could just wash that sheet, Ross. Calm down. But I do always like a good Ross flip out moment, but
I was going to say, this doesn't feel like you're saying these things, and it doesn't feel like you would want to put him last.
That are not mine. I know, but I guess as far as Ross episodes go, because I rate him, so I guess I just hold him to a higher standard. I just felt like these episodes just weren't my favorite from him, so I went with Ross for my least. Also, I feel like we've been really piling on to Phoebe.
We have. We really have in the last couple episodes. I just had to give her a little bit of a break, even though the Apothecary Table still is not my favorite from Phoebe, but I'm mixing it up. I went with Ross as my least. And for my favorite, I'll go with here because I also felt like, wow, we've hit Phoebe a lot here. But
Yeah.
Phoebe would not have been my least favorite in this anyway.
Okay.
I don't mind the Apothecary Table storyline. I actually, like I said, I think that is a unique pairing of characters, and I really like watching that play out. So when it comes down to it, against my better judgment, I'm going to put Chandler as my least favorite character. And that might have only ever happened once before ever for me. He's never at the bottom. But don't get me wrong. I like maintaining you is cool. That's good. But the rest of this is bad. Him being part of this joke situation.
The joke is weird.
The joke is bad. And then the other side on the Apothecary Table, it's him and Monica that are playing off of like the Janine fallout. And, it could have been either of them, but it's definitely Chandler, because then in the next episode, he's all wrapped up in the joke. And so it's Chandler.
No, it's true. I think that is a good pick. And I think it's also, I didn't have that in my note, but it was Ross with the joke bit too. I'm like, Ross, this is not a funny joke. Like, I'm Dr. Monkey. Like, what? No.
I'm Dr. Monkey. Now, no one's arguing that.
No. I was fully on board with Monica's take on that. Just stop.
Yeah. How about your favorite character?
I went with Joey for my favorite character for these. I like that. Listen, he stuck by his friends when she was being really wild about her reaction to, although, Chandler and Monica, sure, as we talked about, maybe it was a bit much that they were, right there all the time, but that's kind of the dynamic there. And she should have kind of read the room a little bit, and I don't know. So I just felt like he kept it real and he stood by his friends. It's like, listen, this is my life. Like this is my family here. This is going to be a problem. And he didn't drag it out. It is what it is. And I thought he was really funny as the waiter, but pretending to not be a waiter at Central Park. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I did consider Joey. I'm actually going to go Rachel here as my favorite. I think I really do like the apothecary story. I don't, the idea of buying furniture is irrelevant, but it's funny the way that they break down the whole thing. And I think Rachel's role in that, between her and Phoebe and then her and Ross, is pretty good. And then when it comes down to the one with the joke, she's also not really involved in the joke. She gets to be not the Monica freakout, but the one who's easygoing and then like saves Joey's job. And also, I really, because I am also a very easygoing person, I am the pushover for sure, I'm sure. But when when Phoebe has explained to Monica why she wouldn't date Monica, Monica looks at Rachel and then says, Rachel says to Monica, well, people are different. And I feel like that is something that I would say, like, listen, I'm sorry that you're so high maintenance, but I'm just chill. Like, we're just going to hang out. It's a good time. Like, people are different.
I would not call you a pushover, though, at all. Like, that's funny that you see yourself that way. I
would say I would not call myself high maintenance, but I would say that I'm just very easygoing about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I make, with what I have, I make work. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And so I'm not like needing to go out and do so. Like, listen, in my classroom, I never ask for like supplies. Whatever supplies I have, I will make that happen. I'll turn that into something.
This is now what we are working with. Right. Yeah.
No, this is what we have. And I'm also too cheap to be like, oh, I'm going out and buying 9 million supplies, because no, I don't have that. So
yeah. Yeah.
No, we're working with what we got, and it's going to be good, and it's all going to work out.
I strive to be more easygoing each.
Yes, they're not
every day.
No. Yeah, you can try. Listen, one of us is Monica, and the other one is Rachel, and we know which one is which.
Pedro's just chuckling to this right now.
Yeah, he knows. He knows I'm right. He knows.
It's just like you guys are just nerds.
Okay. That being said, let's get into the ratings here.
Oh yeah, ratings.
I'm going to start with the joke episode. Upon coming into this episode, I said I thought these are two solid episodes. I was like, neither of them are getting a 10, but I enjoyed watching them both through. Upon further criticism, I'm dropping my rating down a touch.
Okay.
Now, I've gone back and forth because I'm flirting with a dangerous line. But here's the thing. For me, as much as I do like, I'm bringing it back.
Don't
We're
fight
reeling
it.
it back
Go with
a little bit.
Go with your gut.
I like enough of, this is what I'm saying. I like enough of the Rachel and Monica and Phoebe, like, who would you date? And then I like the little stuff at the end where they're like, oh, well, we never figured out who you guys would date. And they're like, we would both pick you. No, definitely the other one. And it's like, yeah, that's obvious. What are we talking about here?
But then Chandler. I thought you were going to say Chandler at the end.
Oh, well, that
Joey.
Also helps. Yeah. All of that is good. The joke, though, kills me. It tanks the rating. And so I've flirted with going below an 8. But I'm going to leave it at 8 exactly because I like enough of the other stuff. And nobody is really out of character. Like, to me, to get under an 8, I think I've determined somebody's got to be out of character. And nobody really is. Maybe you could argue Ross a little, but not really. So I feel like I'm going with an 8. It's just on the lower end of the mid episodes.
For the one with the joke?
Yes.
Okay. And wait, which one? And the one with the apothecary
And so the one
table.
with the one with the apothecary table, I'm going to solidly put in a middle 8. I'm going to put it as an 8.5.
Oh.
Which is exactly the same rating as the one that I gave the routine.
Okay.
But I want to do it for a different reason. I feel like the routine in our last podcast has that one big banger moment.
Yeah.
And it really stands out. To me, the apothecary table is a better overall episode. I think it's more fun to watch. But it's because I really like the entire apothecary table story. It's the breakup with Janine that is lesser. But there are still moments of that are worth watching. So I'm putting it as a mid 8. But I am curious as to, since it's so Janine heavy, like, where does that rating really fall? Because I don't think I think I'm alone on saying the apothecary table brings it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's my rating, so I don't care.
That's right. And it's a funny bit. I'll give you that. But I do always remember
and
that
it's
one.
Way
and I like
as I'm going back, looking at like the one where Phoebe runs, the one with Joey's Porsche, like those were not as good as the apothecary table.
And I'm trying to remember. It's tough for me sometimes if I had them all mapped out. We've talked about our spreadsheet strategy in the future.
Oh,
it's like,
listen,
I almost feel like I should have done that
too.
So like I know, and I feel like I should have really, so I could look back and be like, oh, is it better or worse than this one? But I tend to just, I am as we could describe. Listen. There are certain qualities about me where I am going to be more, I guess you could say, uptight or
not so easygoing, maybe?
Yeah, I don't like to say I'm up. I don't think I'm uptight. I feel like that's too harsh.
No.
But what
let's get Pedro in on this. Let's find out.
But what I'm saying is that what's funny is that certain things with me is that I just like to just go off the cuff with how I'm feeling in the moment, and I'm not gonna like map out like, okay, well, like what did I rate for this episode in that moment, and I have to judge where this episode is rated compared to that one. Like, I'm much less strategic in that way, I feel like.
So let me say I agree with that philosophy. You kind of have to rate it in the moment.
Yeah.
And when I say those other storylines where Phoebe runs and Joey's Porsche, those to me also represented other storylines. Like, I do have my ratings for that, but I'm not really worried about those.
Yeah.
I'm more thinking those were like side stories to that episode, and I'd much rather watch the Apothecary side story than those other ones. And and I don't know that everybody feels that way, though.
No, and listen, I actually respect that. I think it's a solid way of rating because it's more accurate with the whole episode. But for me, it's like, oh, this is how I'm feeling right now. I'm just gonna throw the score at it and call it a day. So I don't know. It's like I could be like adjusted. I could feel a different way tomorrow if I rewatch the episode for sure. But for right now, where I landed when I was watching these episodes, which is what I tend to do, is like write something down. Sometimes I'll adjust it a little bit when we're talking, but I actually liked the one with the joke slightly more, even though the joke part was not my favorite, because I liked Joey as the waiter. I don't know. And I liked the girls like kind of bickering back and forth about like who is more like who, and like, you know, Monica and Rachel coming to terms with their own personalities and just kind of embracing it. But so I gave that one an 8.1. And I gave
the joke.
Yes.
The joke was an 8.1.
And I gave the one with the Apothecary Table an 8.0.
Oh, interesting. Now, I originally had the one with the joke as like an 8.3. And I started bringing it down. And I'm like, man, this joke was just so much of this story. It wasn't even good at all.
It was like, strange for Friends.
And
I feel like it.
Well, you know why it was strange too? Because it was a not good story. And it was a Ross Chandler story.
Yeah.
Usually you put Ross and Chandler together and it's good.
Yeah.
This was awful.
Yeah.
So,
and they didn't even tell the joke.
It's a real weak point. They never tell
like,
the joke, which is fine, but still.
It was very strange.
Okay. So people have spoken on these episodes. I do have their ratings. And the ratings are low. The higher episode is the Apothecary Table.
Okay.
It is a 7.9.
Okay, that was what I first had, but I was feeling guilty. I feel bad when I go into the sevens. All right.
Hey, the one with the joke is a 7.8.
What?
So
Yeah,
both
I get
7.8 and 7.9. I totally get the joke. That one makes sense to me. I almost had it as a 7.9. I brought it back to an 8 because I like the girls' side of that.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that the Apothecary Table is on the lower end as well. Yeah. I personally like it better. Well, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please check out our social media pages on Instagram and on TikTok and on YouTube. We really appreciate all the support we're seeing there so far. Leave a comment, keep helping us build this community out so we can get all of us together talking about Friends and whatever other shows we happen to be rewatching, like Stranger Things, which I think we just wrapped up season 3, if we've already heard this. So if you're watching them in order, season 3 is done. We're moving on to season 4 next week. That being said, you can check out our website, werunonreruns.com, for all of our podcasts in full, not to mention Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your other favorite podcast players. For Amanda, this is Eric. Enjoy watching episodes 13 and 14 of Friends for next week. Happy rerunning, everybody.
See you later, guys.